2018 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV Quick Spin Review Vertical Bar. Why doesn't everyone make one of these? The 2018 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV took a remarkably long time to get to the United States. It went on sale in Europe in 2013 and was originally planned to come to America the year after, but didn't arrive until late in 2017. Mitsubishi was also fortunate that, in the time it took to finalize the American model, the entry-level competition remained primarily sedans and sedan-like hatchbacks, with the exception of the Niro PHEV, a crossover smaller than Outlander and closer to a traditional hatchback. The big appeal of the Outlander PHEV is of course its plug-in hybrid powertrain. It comprises a naturally aspirated 2.0-liter 4-cylinder and 2 electric motors, one up front, one in the rear. This powertrain can function in 3 different ways. There's full electric mode, series hybrid mode, the gas engine acts like a generator, and propulsion is handled solely by the electric motor, and parallel hybrid. A clutch engages the engine to the front motor for additional propulsion assist. The Outlander switches automatically between these operational schemes depending on drive mode settings. For example, with a full charge you can press a button to keep it in EV mode, at least as long as there's enough battery power. 2 other buttons can allow you to save the battery charge for use later, such as in town after a highway drive, and a charge button to replenish the battery level while driving. Also impressive is the fact that the powertrain is still quite smooth and quiet when the engine fires up. When it starts, it's barely noticeable as there's very little vibration or noise. It stays quiet too, since most of the time it only has to run at very low RPM to generate electricity. With a low battery and heavy acceleration, the engine does have to rev higher, and you will notice more engine noise, but thankfully, the engine is fairly refined and quiet. It's more of a hum than a drone or a buzz. Plus, it usually doesn't last long, except during sustained hard acceleration. There is really only one major drawback to the Outlander PHEV's drivetrain. The spunky low-speed acceleration vanishes when trying to accelerate to highway speeds. It simply starts running out of gumption the longer you keep your foot down. Another drawback is that the Outlander PHEV isn't as frugal as comparable sedans. Most other PHEVs are based on existing family sedans, or are their own unique cars, and most of them, including the Prius, Ioniq, Niro, Sonata, Clarity, Volt and others get better electric range and miles per gallon equivalent figures than the Outlander's 22 miles and 74 mpg. With that being said, that electric only range is still very usable. It got me to my house 15 miles away with range to spare. And if you have access to a DC fast charger, you can get 80% of the range back in 25 minutes. When its electric only range has been exhausted, its estimated fuel economy of 25 miles per gallon combined is just a bit lower than premium PHEV crossovers such as the Volvo XC60 and Mini Countryman. A conventional 4-cylinder Outlander 4WD gets a bit better at 26 miles per gallon combined, but that's a bit deceiving, since if you're not using the electric only range, what's the point of getting a plug-in hybrid? So if you're unlikely to plug it in much, if at all, most of the efficiency benefits vanish entirely. The entry-level Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV is actually a higher trim level on normal models. It's the cell with all-wheel drive, and in non-hybrid form, it would start at about $29,000. The hybrid adds a fair amount of cost to that price, giving the Outlander PHEV a starting price of $35,915 before federal, $5,386, and possible state incentives. Though that isn't cheap, it is similar to that of the Chevy Volt and Honda Clarity. The Niro PHEV is much cheaper at $28,840, but it's also smaller. What the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV is an Outlander with a lot of gravy. It takes the strengths of the standard crossover, such as its practicality, crossover styling, pleasant ride characteristics, and attainable, if not super cheap, pricing, and slathers on a futuristic hybrid system that has usable EV-only range. But because it's an Outlander with gravy, it also comes with the Outlander's weaknesses, such as its outdated interior, mediocre handling, and subpar gasoline-only fuel economy, the latter being an issue when comparing it to similarly priced PHEV sedans. But if you've been wanting a taste of the plug-in hybrid electric life, but simply haven't been able to give up the style or practicality of a small to mid-size crossover, the Outlander is a very compelling package for a reasonable price.